Welcome back, Mr. Witness. A continuation of your testimony before this commission of inquiry into local government councils and related matters. May I remind you that you are still on the oath before I hand you over to Madam Chair for us to proceed. Thank you. Madam Chair, over to you.
Welcome back, Mr. Njai.
Thank you, Ma.
Mr. Njai,
Sir,
we have your project asset inventory and traceability assessment.
yes.
Now, this was submitted to the
See you.
CEO.
Right.
Okay. Now, what's the course? Do you know?
No. We had a briefing on this. The idea was that the EU project wanted to hand over the assets upward from 5,000 euros
Yes.
upwards, according to them, as per their mandate. I say no. The handing over should be exclusive. Then you can segregate which one falls under this category, and it just goes on. So I was there for 2 days on a side visit from one section to the other. Mind you, in my report, I say Crab Island Sustainable, Crab Island Hub, but they normally refer it to Crab Island Sustainable Development Center. But in my report, I said the hub, interchanging it. So when I went there, I was accompanied and welcomed by Muse Van Sambroek, the Ostenda City coordinator. So from I think 11 o'clock, I would be there. I clock in by 11 o'clock, and we went round for a couple of hours, more than 4. And then later we sat down, have a discussion. Then I would leave. The next day I would report. We do the same routine until I exhausted the different components that are there. So when he threw the idea, because initially CEO told me as the chairperson of the asset registry, so I told him I have to go on a site visit and see what is there. But the assets are too many, and if we want to have a detailed information, it has to be encompassed.
Yes.
So I told him that this is how you do it. We must have at a table, we have a format, a prescribed format or a structured format.
Correct.
That is how we go about it, whereby every asset, we would be able to trace it, the value of the asset, and the custodian of the asset, so that in the event that depreciation and all that is to be calculated,
Yes.
it will be easy for those doing that.
Now, was that done?
No, it couldn't materialize because from my from my viewpoint, he may not have, one, time was not in his side, two, that was not his area of specialty or an area he has broader understanding.
Yes.
So I suggested this to him, which he buy into. So when I submitted this report, I also discussed it with the CEO. So CEO wanted us to have it one-off and inclusive of our report. I said, no, that would be too tedious for us. Our initial assignment is to do this asset register. So this one coming, let's do it on phases. Let's complete this one, phase 1. Then phase 2, we do Crab Island and the recent acquired assets, the newly acquired assets.
Very well. Now, let's go back to the issue of employment.
Right.
Is there anything you want to discuss?
Yes. There is a new norm in council whereby they're trying to legitimize internship. Internship placement, yes. People would be placed on intern. I would say internship, as we knew, is a referral. You would be referred to the institution to come for internship for a certain number of hours,
Yes.
certain number of weeks or days or months. Once it is concluded, a report is written and sent back to the institution or
Yes.
organization that sent you there.
Yes.
But now this is becoming a new phenomenon whereby they want to legitimize internship. There are interns there who are there for more than 1 year.
What do you mean legitimize? Internship is I understand what you are saying.
Yes.
But I just for the consumption of the commission.
Yeah, the legitimacy I'm trying to drive at is to have them at the end of the day being employed directly.
So they use it as a gateway.
Yeah, that's an entrance.
Employment.
Yes.
Okay. So
which is not
There are
helping.
institutions that
Yes.
organized institutions will even have a policy against that,
Yes.
so that people that come through by way of interns would not use that as a gateway to have employment, unless you have, of course, special circumstance cases. You start that. Now, what you are saying is important because then you give you render certain people who have ordinarily been qualified and who have also had a ordinarily be entitled to have a fair share of um, 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 the employment procedures,
Yes.
opportunity, they would be disadvantaged.
If I may be allowed to submit this needs-based assessment that was carried out in 2002.
Right.
This came as a result of interns that were sent to the institution by the University of the Gambia under the UNDP flagship.
2022 or 2002?
2022.
Okay.
2022. Okay.
Yes.
So this was done, and this is the report. This is the outcome of those interns.
Yes.
Right now, those two of them have graduated with their master's degree.
Right.
The other is the risk manager at the BT Bank.
Right.
So I was a co-researcher and at the same time a supervisor of this gentleman and lady.
Right.
So this is what we expect from an intern. But interns who would come and be occupying public space, they would be given stipend at the end of the month. Some would come to report, they wouldn't report. Some would be telling you, I am under this, I am doing course A or course B. You don't know, and they are not there is no induction or introduction into the office. You'll just see somebody. As institution is a private entity. They are not following norms. If you talk about it, they would say a lot of things. They would make a lot of negative comments because they have negative energy with them.
Okay, maybe not negative energy. Maybe they didn't come through the right way, and because of that, there is a relationship and an understanding that they have with respect to the people that brought them. So that would defeat the purpose. And maybe that's what you are trying to explain as negative energy.
And further to that, council, I did not rest. I had to put up a position paper.
May I say, please?
On internship and send to the CEO because I don't want this to be something that will be continuing without it being regularized.
So what is the procedure for having interns in council? Do they have a guideline for this? Do they have a policy for this, or do they just bringing this on board based on what the CEO wants, or what the administration wants, or what the mayors want?
What I'm seeing is some senior members are even bringing in people, and they were trying to masquerade that as, or trying to dress up that as it is an intern who comes on his own accord that want to be with the council. Some are there beyond 3 months, because what would have been even clear would have been a 3 months placement, then maybe a subsequent renewal of 6 months. Then you go, the skills that what you've learned theoretically, you have got a hands-on experience, you move out, somebody comes in and gain the same knowledge. But if you are accepted as an intern, whilst it was not competitive, we wouldn't know the best person who would have been the right person to be picked for the job.
True, that is important.
But because if they are looking in the future, that if they exit the council, they would have their people to have authority over council.
Right.
So suppress information,
right,
to still acting as proxies.
Right.
So that is why they want to legitimize this in their own way.
So let's get it straight again. I repeat.
Yeah.
The idea of having interns in this format would be unlawful.
So
the reason is it is a public office.
Right, sir.
And every Gambian has the right to have equal opportunity for employment, right, to be employed.
Right.
And once they think they are qualified, they have the right to put up to make an application. And if they're qualified, and then they succeed. If they succeed, and then they get paid from the same coffers that they contribute by virtue of them being a Gambian. Is that not the case? So you are going to disadvantage people who would have ordinarily been more qualified and give others positions that they perhaps are less qualified to man.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm just stating that you bringing this up is very, very important, because the purpose of public office is to have equal opportunity for everybody and not to do discrimination or segregation in employment or discrimination in employment by virtue of family ties or any form of relationship.
Okay.
Right? We apply to tender a letter addressed to the Chief Executive Officer on the 14th of May 2025. Madam Chair, it is important because of it is a pre-existing issue that Mr. Sandigi Njie is trying to address in relation to internship. The other is a memo dated the 22nd of August 2021 from Bayo City Council, from the Director of Administration to all departments and unit heads. The subject is administering of need-based assessment questionnaires.
Council,
Correct? Yes, sir.
this need-based assessment gave rise to the forced HR policy that Mr. Cisse was here.
Let me just have this admitted.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And you may proceed with that.
Thank you, sir.
And a copy of the need-based assessment for BCC for the year 2022, all to be admitted to evidence and marked as exhibit.
Senga, is this a single document?
Come again, ma?
Is this a single document?
Which one of them?
Yes, this needs assessment. Is it a single document?
Yes.
A memo dated the 22nd of August 2021. It is addressed to the Lord Mayor. It is copied to the Lord Mayor, CEO, and file copy is maintained. It is addressed to all departments and unit heads. It is from the Director of Admin. The second document is is a letter addressed to the CEO dated the 14th of May 2025, and the subject is internship. And the third document is a needs-based assessment for BCC 2022. These documents are admitted in evidence as exhibit, and they are marked as LDC/BCC/SM/014.
As a commission places. Now, please proceed.
Council, when this research was conducted and concluded upon, we had a presentation, the plenary, whereby members of this senior management cadre, including the CEO and other department or unit heads that participated, ranging from the community development right to the city link coordinator. We are invited. We gathered at the Makati Square, but the findings, we are not sitting down well with the CEO and his brand.
Why?
The findings we document. I mean, because if you have staffs who are not well equipped, some skills are missing. Even in the questionnaire, when we administered the questionnaires, the responses, we had to go back and visit some of them, tell them, come on, just be honest. This is confidential. No name will be revealed. That is the time some of them had the faith or the courage to do it properly because they were fearful of being victimized. The environment there is hostile.
Training policy. Do you guys have a training policy? Do you guys, is the staff motivated in that form? The capacity enhanced? Do they have programs in relation to the training of the staffs, especially for the positions that matter?
No,
they don't.
No. So when we had that moment and the findings were shared, we divided ourselves into the four of us. That was, allow me to mention their names:
right.
Mr. Momadou Lamin Diba, right in Switzerland; Mr. Haruna Jallo, right in Kenya; Aminata Oba, right here at Guarantee Trust, and my humble self. So we subdivided the areas that we want to talk about before the gallery and allow them to react. Very interesting. Some of them had very important lessons to take home. But I mean, the other camp, it was not sitting well with them. So we said, okay, now these are people who were placed on internship here. It would be appropriate that the UNDP, the University of the Gambia, and our line ministry are put on the know. How? We have a convergence whereby this report would be shared. We agreed. All of a sudden, they went into their own conclave, discuss, and said, no, this is our report. We don't want you to invite all this class of people. Surrender our report. So my guys, one of them is just somebody who's a straight shooter. So angry, I had to tame him down. I said, don't worry. These are people who are very tricky. They know how to do this. But now, let's get this on record and roll it out. We write a cover note to this report and ensure it reaches to the University of the Gambia. The UNDP, Mr. I think Nohature is the right guy. Then the PS of local government. So that's how it
you've done your part.
Yeah, that's how it concluded. Because we wanted to have a bigger assembly whereby every staff would see the outcome of what they've participated. I mean, but they were into non-transparency. They were fearful. He could see that anxiety was in the environment because they've seen the outcome. Because these are scientific. You don't just go and cook them. So this brings me down to one interesting issue. A particular witness that I watched talking about the research. I couldn't fathom how a researcher would say, we've identified an investigator to prepare the questionnaire for a period of 1 year. You decide your own questionnaires. You may give somebody, ask me, some of us have done. Your supervisor would validate your questions. But you paid somebody or more people to do this for a period of 1 year. So how was the research conducted? I couldn't understand a lot of things when the session was going on. I couldn't.
Maybe it is more or less to enrich some people than to have an outcome.
I don't know because I was finding it difficult, definitely.
So you have some vouchers with you.
Yes. Okay. Before that voucher, I want to be allowed to tender this HR policy that we initially started internally that brought about the word coup d'etat in that office.
Okay, let me see the HR policy. This was in 2020.
Yes. So this was spearheaded by the then deputy chief executive, deputy CEO, that was Ms. Fatal.
But Mamla Jase was paid to do a similar.
Council, that's a hoax.
Mamla Jase was paid $1.8 million.
That is just an extortion or siphoning of power.
Why do you classify that as an extortion?
Because the guy does not have what it takes to be there.
What do you mean by that?
His area of expertise is in relation to IT.
To IT?
Yes. One, there was no advertisement. Management did not discuss this. This was just an imposition of how to take council money. That is why I said these things were premeditated and have been implemented systematically.
So first, you guys in 2020 had you prepared a human resource policy.
Yes.
And the team that is involved, you said the deputy CEO, the name?
Ms. Fatal.
Fatal.
Yes, he was leading the team, but we could not even exhaust it.
How many of you? How many of you?
I was there herself, the director of acting director of admin.
Name?
Yeah, Mr. Yusufa Jallo. So
any other?
Miss Aiden Njie, we were there together, trying to create something, formulate at least a PR policy.
Any other?
These are few names that I could recollect.
And yourself?
Yes. So from there,
was it 2020?
Yes.
We applied to tender. But what did you submit to the CEO?
Which one? This?
Yes.
That's what I wanted to build upon.
Okay.
This is what created the word coup d'etat.
Yes.
Because they made CEO as somebody who's insecure.
Right.
To believe that us being at the office of the deputy CEO, because deputy CEO academically holds a higher degree than the CEO at that time.
At that time?
Yes. So they made him to believe that this woman is undermining her. So
higher qualification, you mean?
Yeah, yes. So these are things that they play with, mind game along people. So if you are not somebody who's focused, you can fall for it. So this is how they came about with that word, that coup d'etat. And they keep repeating these things. Anything that is progressive, they will say, these people want to coup d'etat us. How? Where? When? In public administration?
Okay.
You don't understand how those these people think.
So it was never submitted?
No.
But it was prepared?
Yes. This is just the elementary stage of it.
Okay. We apply to tender. So it will be correct to refer to it as a draft.
Yes, because we did not exhaust. We
wanted to. A draft human rights policy. In bracket represents specific guidelines as a reference point. The witness clearly stated that it is being prepared by the deputy CEO Fatal, the acting director of admin Yusufa Jallo, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And Aiden Njie and the witness himself. Yes. Towards addressing the issues in relation to human resource. But were they aware of this?
Come again, sir?
They were aware of you preparing this draft.
Yes, they were.
Or trying to address the issues in relation to human resources.
Yes, they knew. That is why they started coming up with words that are not friendly.
Okay.
And out of that, they initially attacked Ida's office, broke into her office, changed the lock. Subsequently, they proceeded to Miss Fatal, broke into her office, changed the lock. So they were attempting on me. You see, systematically what they were doing.
Well,
so initially, It will be part of the submissions that I have here.
Mr. Jai,
Yes,
can
ma'am.
you allow me to make this document?
Yes, thank you.
The draft human resource policy made prepared in 2020 is hereby admitted in evidence as an exhibit, and it is marked as LGC/BCC/SN/015.
As the commission, please. Now you have some vouchers that you want to
Yes,
address.
I have these are a couple of vouchers that have been interrogating, and I happen to find some very interesting things. I couldn't differentiate or distinguish
Yeah, in relation to BC in general or the Austin project?
the EU project, for that matter. Yeah, I couldn't distinguish the steering committee payments and the finance committee.
Why?
So how did they arrive to a finance committee in the EU project and the steering committee separately?
So there was a finance committee as well.
According to this voucher. So I couldn't understand that because there was only the EU steering committee. So how did they arrive to creating a finance committee?
Correct.
I don't know. And you could see the systematic way of trying to generate more revenue in trying to create more meetings. And they have fixed monthly allowance. And every meeting you attend, you have allowance. You will see some people being paid $10,000 as allowance every month. And when they attend meetings, again, they are paid. And monthly, they have fixed remunerations and their salary on top of it. And the outcome, public money, 195 million was the equivalent of the 3.1 million euro. It went down the drain almost. The EU project is almost collapsed.
They said it didn't collapse. They said it is a success.
That is why I beg this commission to go on a site tour and see.
Oh, we know it's not a success. The evidence is clear, Mr. Jai.
The writings are on the walls. Yes.
Number one, if you do not follow the regulations, you cannot succeed. It's clear. If you don't follow the regulation, you don't follow procurement processes, you cannot succeed because then you would have been doing procurement in bad faith to enrich a few at the expense of the lot of the many people that are supposed to benefit from this. So that cannot be a success. We have the following vouchers to submit for it to be admitted to evidence and marked as exhibits. The first is CityLink Banjul Austin. All of the vouchers are CityLink Banjul Austin project vouchers. The first is PV number 933. The second is 916. The third is 950. The fourth is PV number 992. Is payment for monthly supervisory works allowance for the month of June and July 2022. We have voucher 1001. $1026. That is for the payment of monthly steering committee allowance for the month of August 2022. We have voucher number 1027, which is what the witness is trying to explain, being payment of monthly finance committee allowance for the month of August 2022. Voucher number 1028. We have voucher number 1047. Monthly Finance Committee allowance on behalf of Alfacine Ghana for the month of August 2022. Voucher number 1746. Payment as loan allocation facility of 40% of salary on 11 months serviceable role shame from January 2022 to November 2022 for subsequent payment of 60%. The amount is $1,303,742.15. We have a receipt from Saros Tree Nursery and Ornamental Garden, Banjo Village, Combo North Western Division. Being evidence of receipt of $82,500 from BCC for the cost of procurement of trees, 150 umbrella, 150 cut jam, 50 ficus, 50 moringa, 50 cordia at $350 each. The total is $107,500. The amount that was authorized for payment is $2,500. We have a voucher number 753 for loan allocation facility of 40% of allowance of 11 months serviceable, $253,000. Voucher number 757 voucher number 762 voucher number 776 says being payment representing part of $276,100 cost of accommodation for 4 days with internet facility hall hire for the steering committee. Voucher number 782, the allocation for the payment of 3 days per diem allowance for the trekking on a steering committee retreat at Upcast Creek, $417,879. Voucher number 784. There's a month allowance as health consultant for the aloe vera bone wounds assigned for the month of July 2022. Voucher number 789. We have voucher number 801. Being payment representing the 20% of the $4,161,928 as cost for the supply and installation and basic configuration of the IT equipment in the new office complex of BCC. The amount paid was $832,385.68. We have voucher number 811. And the second installment represented 30% of the $4,161,928 for the IT complex and installation. We have a lot of vouchers. I see it's 1 o'clock, Honorable Chairperson. Let's proceed with it. Voucher number 824.
Council is 11 minutes more.
Okay, thank you. 824. Bill procurement of for the cost of one laptop computer Lenovo, $55,000. Voucher number 608, $110,000 payment for BCC steering committee members monthly allowance. We have a memo from the project manager to the project coordinator with the payment of monthly allowance for the steering committee members to the 3rd of September 2021. We have voucher number 550, payment for an extra 23 days accommodation cost for Jonas Sherens. The amount is $63,250. The pay is Norm Company Limited, Kaiser Homes and Apartments. We have voucher number 553, an amount of $157,500 is paid to All for Agro in payment for the purchase of coconut trees. We have a receipt from Saros Tree Nursery and Ornamental Garden, $180,000 for the payment of dwarf coconut seedling, cotton tree, and Kosori tree. We have a voucher number 557, the amount of which is $202,500 for the purchase of dwarf coconut seedling. Voucher number we have a purchase requisition form. The form number is 21091622. The date is 16th of September 2021. We have a receipt from Plantation Nurseries, Fast Jagachoy, Lower Nyomi District. An amount of $229,500 is received for the cost of 500 coconut seedlings. We have a receipt as well from the CityLink Banjul, receipt from Fulach Farms, dealers in general merchandise and goods. The amount is $123,750. We have the steering committee allowance $110,000. The PV number 608. We have a memo from the project manager to the project coordinator for the monthly allowances for September 2021. We have the Basic Bank Gambia Limited letter address from the CityLink Banjul Austin. The order of payment. We have payment of $118,757 with payment for monthly allowance for the pitch gardeners and security team for the month of September 2021, and payment for the monthly allowance of supervision service at the beach for the month of September 2021, and payment for monthly allowance for security consultant at the beach for the month of September 2021. A memo from the project manager to the project coordinator with respect to the allowance for the pitch volunteers. We have version number 627, $125,000 is for Steering Committee allowance for September 2021. Voucher number 658, the pay is Hannah Barry. The payment of sitting allowance for interviewing candidates for the position of financial manager. The amount is $46,000. A memo from the Director of Finance and Chairman, Finance and Procurement Committee, addressed to the project manager via project coordinator, via CEO and steering committee chairman, with the topic request for allowance for recruitment process for the position of project finance officer and accountant. The amount recommended is $5,000 each. For Mustafa Bacheli, Makuma Sane, Yusufa Jallo, Katim Ture, Mamadou Kamara, Ibu Keita, Mamla Jase, and Alfosene Gano. And they will be assisted by Hadimbai, Fatumata Sira Sise, and Anna Bari, who will be paid $2,000 each. Voucher number 1116, payment, details of payment are being payment of monthly project staff salaries on behalf of Mamla Jase for the month of December 2022, $66,168.52. We have voucher number 1131, a $40,000 payment for the monthly finance committee allowance for the month of December 2022. We have voucher number 1132, payment of monthly supervisory works allowances for the month of December 2022, $10,000. We have voucher number 1170, $10,000 as monthly support staff allowance for the month of July 2023. We have voucher number 1190, payment of monthly allowance for health and aloe vera bonds research, clinical and support team for the month of February 2023, $95,000. All to be admitted to the evidence and marked as exit. Forms. Send for the Bible. Just line. Go to feet. Probably taking 1 hour to do.
Yeah, it is 44 documents
Yes.
you presented, right?
Yes, ma'am.
The witness presented 44 documents containing vouchers and memos and other related documents. These are all admitted in a bundle together as exhibit in evidence, and they are marked as LGC/BCC/SN/015.
As the commission places.
General. We may